She also has very good taste. She picked a mensch to be her husband, a person who shares values that she holds dear, a person committed to the furtherance of Judaism as she is. You make a wonderful, wonderful pair. And everybody here, those who have known you, Tami, for many years, those who have known you, Greg, for many years, those who have come into your lives in more recent times, are united with a sense of real simcha to be at this occasion with you. Well, I asked each of you to put down on paper what you find so wonderful about this person standing next to you who will, from now and forever, be your life's partner. And here's what Greg has to say. Tami and I met on the 4th of July. I had been in Israel for a few weeks at Opan, and she had been on a birthright trip. We spoke for just a few minutes, but we both knew there was a connection. There are so many things about Tami that make me love her. When we met, she had just finished leading a birthright group, and talking about that opened the door to the various experiences she had had. Otzma, birthright, working for APAC, working for the Bureau. All of these are examples of the ambition and passion that Tami has for the Jewish people. Right there were two things about her that made me love her: ambition and love for the Jewish people. Obviously, being the person that I am and entering the rabbinate, I could not be with someone who was not a committed part of the Jewish community. And it's not surprising that I have fallen in love with one of its future leaders. But Tami's variety of experiences allows her to really engage in what she does, and is a great partner for me as we approach the world together. That experience is great, but it is nothing compared to her ambition and her passion. Being a passionate person myself, someone who enjoys a heated discussion for its own value, and there are a lot of amens out there for that one, Greg. I love Tami, and I both feel so strongly about what we believe. For her, those passions include the Jewish community and the state of Israel, but also her friends, family, and education. It's not a coincidence that both her parents are in education. But Tami has taken that in a different direction. She so desperately wants to find a way to make education in the future more effective, find a better way to connect to teens and young adults, find a new way for American Jews to connect to Israel. Sometimes that passion manifests itself as frustration. What, Tami? But underneath that is a burning desire to serve those around her. Tami is and will be a great professional, and it was in that environment that we first met. But the more I got to know her, and I began to see how she interacts with family and friends, I knew that she was the type of person I could spend my life with. Her devotion to her family, desire to always do right by her relatives, and a sense of gratitude for all she has, for all that her parents that have given to her, allow her to embody this dichotomy of lofty idealism and grounded sensibility. I could not ask for a better friend than Tami. It is hard to find someone who can have a longtime friend. I have found that difficult, as I've traveled and have often had complete turnover in my social circle. Yes, I do have friends who have remained friends, but I occasionally find myself envying Tami's wide circle of friends, especially a best friend like Kim Pellman. Loyalty and the desire to work through the hard times is what it takes to have a lifelong relationship and a lifelong friendship. These are also characteristics that make a good life partner. That is what I love about who Tami is to everyone but me. An ambitious Jewish leader, a thankful and gracious daughter, and a loyal friend. To me, she is the love of my life. We have so much fun together. Whether it is as boring as sitting on the couch and watching reruns, or as adventurous as traveling to Greece, when we're together, we know we will enjoy ourselves. She makes me laugh, and I make her laugh. She loves my family, and I love her family. In simple terms, we just fit together. It's something that both of us knew early on in our relationship. It was only a few months in that we knew we were in love and were engaged after 8 months. We both knew that we were going to spend the rest of our lives together and couldn't wait to get started. She knows when things are bothering me and to ask me about them. She also knows me well enough sometimes to just let me be. I feed off her ambitions and love being a source of energy and strength for her. Together, we can be absolutely silly, lying on the floor playing with the dog, or get dressed up and go to an evening event at the Skirball and be completely comfortable because we're together. In a certain sense, our love is so simple because it's so basic. The connection we have with each other warms my heart every time we are together, and is something that I miss as soon as we are apart. I love her because all she wants to do is make me happy, and the only way I know how to love her is to do the same for her. Tami addresses the following question: what is special about Greg? From the moment I met Greg, I knew that I had met my match. He was that complete package that I had always been looking for in a man, but was never sure I would find. For our first date, we went exploring the old city of Jerusalem at night. I usually get nervous for dates, but for some reason, I was calm this time. I knew that there was something special about this man I would be meeting. I was right. We had an immediate connection, even though the romance developing between us as we overlooked the Western Wall was interrupted by a beetle crawling up my arm. We had a good laugh and went on with our amazing date. This was when I discovered a common deep love for Israel, appreciation of country music, and love for sports. He was my perfect match, even though he was a Cubs fan. So I guess you'd have to say you're near perfect match.
Perfect, yes.
On our first few dates, we literally broke all of the rules that HUC gave us to follow regarding life in Jerusalem, but had so much fun doing it. I knew this fun could last a lifetime. As our relationship progressed, the more I knew that Greg had qualities that reminded me of people who were the most important to me in my life, but especially of my father. Greg loves to tell stories and is quick-witted. He is brilliant, but in a way that he knows details about events that happened before he was born and is almost literally a walking encyclopedia, just like my dad. He puts his family first, above everything, which is incredibly important to me. When we were in Israel, Greg maintained close relationships with his parents and his siblings through endless phone conversations and emails. I knew the difficulties of staying in touch with my family when I lived in Israel before, and how important it was for me when I was away. I was comforted that he made it such a priority to maintain a close relationship with his family while he was away too. Greg loves his fraternity brothers and his friends from camp. These guys are his extended family. He would do anything for them. That's a part of Greg's character that I love so much. He loves his friends deeply, but is willing to help anyone with anything if he can. This quality shows through in how he works with his student congregation, comforting them and providing a warm presence for them that I know they deeply appreciate. I think he cultivated these qualities through the experience that he had as a leader in his fraternity and as a camp counselor, and they still influence him today. While I know this might be obvious, our love and dedication to Judaism is central to our relationship. Before we met each other, we both dedicated our professional lives to working for the Jewish people, and our love and passion have only grown because of school. I admire him for the work he does on behalf of his congregation and the way that he has become a part of their community. Our classmates and professors joke with us because of the way we sit together in our classes and study together after school. But we do it because we love to. Studying together this year has pushed us to grow, challenging each other with ideas and questions that arise from the text. This study has led us to embark on personal journeys that have deepened our Jewish identity and connection to our history and culture. I know that this study will lead us to a life full of meaning and intrigue, and it will constantly push us to grow together. I want to interject. Robert and I started exactly the same way, studying text together as friends. I recommend it. May you have the same joy and growth that we've had. Back to Tami's words. But of course, why I love Greg goes beyond just who he is, but how he makes me feel. He is my best friend. He helps me find a balance in my own life. He encourages me to treat myself well, be healthy, and enjoy life. Greg and I work together in our relationship. We are partners and friends. He supports me when I need him and gives me that little push that I sometimes need to get started on things. He helps me analyze any issues that arise in my life and see it from a variety of angles so that I can make the best decision. He has always been there for me at times when I needed him the most. He loves me. I can see it in his eyes and his warm smile. The way he always tries to make me laugh and comforts me when I'm sad. I trust him more than I trust anyone in the world. He is my ultimate package, and I couldn't have asked for anything more in a partner for my life. I cannot wait to live life with him by my side. So, you don't have to. The waiting is over.